Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Folks, we got a hell of a show in store for you guys today. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So yesterday, Gil's Arena invited a special guest to the show, and this guest was Dwight Howard. Right? Dwight Howard, former multiple all NBA player, all-star. I think he won the Defensive Player Award 3 times, led the league in rebounding. Was arguably, or probably, I think Dwight Howard was the best center in the NBA for a stretch when he was playing. Andrew Bynum was good as well, but I think it was Dwight Howard, right? And Dwight Howard would always play well against Andrew Bynum. So he's a great player. Although he didn't make the top 75 team, a lot of people were upset with that. For those of us who saw Dwight Howard play, we know that he was an absolute beast. So yesterday he was on Gil's Arena. But I didn't know what he was going to be discussing with the panel because on the title of their show, they just said Dwight Howard is on Gil's Arena, but they didn't necessarily name what topics they were going over at that time. So I tuned in. I didn't watch it live. I tuned in afterwards, right? And I was kind of scrolling through the timeline to see what topics interest me. And it was a packed house. It was a packed house. People I can think of. Kenny Martin was there. Brandon Jennings was there. Rashard McCann was there. Of course, Gilbert Arenas was there. Dwight. It was a full house, right? Full house. That couch was full, right? And then the conversation at one point shifted towards some tweets that Nick Young had shared on the internet. And I didn't understand the tweets, so they clarified it. But it was something to the effect of basically saying people are afraid to say Kyrie's better than Curry the same way they're afraid to say Kobe's better than Jordan, right? That was the premise. And that was the premise of the conversation. So they start talking. And what ensued was nothing other than total chaos. I can't remember a Gil's Arena show episode with this much passion and screaming. And I mean, people were going at each other. And essentially, let me just give you guys who was playing what position, who was defending who, so you guys have a backdrop of it before we play the audio, because it's a lot. The people that were pro Jordan Kobe being better than Jordan were Nick Young, Rashard McCann. Brandon Jennings was on that side, but he wasn't as a staunch advocate for Kobe as Rashard McCann and Nick Young. Dwight Howard was in the middle. Gilbert Arenas was in opposition of them saying that Kobe was better than Michael Jordan, and so was Kenyon Martin. So these were the main characters, and these guys started going at it, man. And it was just an all-out brawl. So what we want to do is want to play the most important parts. This segment had to be like 30 minutes. We're picking out the most important parts that we feel will give you guys a better sense of what they were essentially talking about. And then we're going to come back. So I want you guys to take a listen to that now, and then we're going to really come back and get into the show. Take a listen to these gentlemen here.
Kyrie is the Kobe to Curry MJ. People scared to say he's better. So before we get to the Kyrie-Steph discussion, are you saying Kobe is better than MJ?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
This
is the obvious.
I say it.
Yeah, Kobe is better than MJ.
But people throw 6 rings in his face all the time.
That's an impressive feat?
Yeah, because he never was able
But
to. He almost got 3.
For me, I think Jordan was like the shiny object in the big man era. And Kobe played against
mediocre.
multiple.
So Dwight, I saw your
shooting guards too.
Saw your
Kobe?
face when you heard that.
D-Wade was the
mediocre.
Do you agree with Nick saying that
D-Wade is the third.
Kobe is better than
Paul
MJ?
Pierce, you got Ray Allen, you got T-Mac, you got.
Just overall, Nick,
I
what do you
don't
say?
feel like MJ had a package. He could jump, he could have finish
MJ.
like Kyrie, but I don't think his package was more quick moves to the hole and jump high and finish.
Yeah, I think Kobe better than MJ, skill-wise, yeah. He took everything Jordan did and multiplied it. He did it better. So
And had more, added himself to it.
Okay.
Threes,
You gotta
everything.
get better.
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta get better. It involves. You gotta get better.
So what did he?
Yeah, 81.
I'm a fan of both, huh?
Yeah, 81.
So y'all say he enhanced MJ's game. Okay, so what did he do that MJ didn't do? Okay, the pump fakes, the different finishes.
Yeah.
I get, yes, okay, but what did he do that MJ didn't do?
What did MJ do? He had a fadeaway, drive, fade, pump fake, spin, pump fake.
MJ?
Pump. No, Kobe. I'm talking about spin, pump fake. This way.
He enhanced the perimeter
Yeah, he
skill
enhanced
set.
it.
The
So if you
toolbox,
make it
the
better,
toolbox
are
on
you
the
better?
perimeter.
Yeah.
You
When
make
you
what
talk about
somebody
footwork,
did better.
So
he took MJ's mid-range footwork and he put it to the
But
perimeter.
my thing is, so let me ask you
He
this. So
extended.
That is not
the
MJ's
mid-range
game.
game, but
That's not.
He
That's what
extended
they
it.
did.
He
No,
extended
no.
MJ
Y'all let
do it.
y'all let that media
saying.
y'all let media bull.
man, y'all better go watch.
Y'all know,
Damn.
you know I'm a student.
Kobe.
Y'all know I'm a student.
Okay, you a student?
Kobe game is not.
Then why the you talking about Kobe enhanced MJ's
He didn't.
moves when you're only talking about MJ 95, 96, 90? He did not. He did not.
Who was talking 95,
MJ
96?
did not
Who's
have a
saying
big-
that?
Kobe don't look nothing like MJ in 84 to 93. He don't know who that is.
Who you say that?
MJ in 84 to 93, Kobe don't know what that guy looks like.
Hold on, whoa, hold on.
He learned Michael Jordan's old back with the post-up fadeaway.
That's
That's
what
the
I'm
MJ
saying.
he mimicked.
but
He
this
did not
ain't had a
mimic.
mid-range game.
He did not mimic Air Jordan. He mimicked
No.
Michael Jordan.
The first 10 years of
So
Kobe
what did,
Bryant.
so when he averaged 37, 38, all of them was dunks and threes?
Yeah, he was playing against
Michael Jordan.
Elo
But
fucking Mark
I
Bryant.
didn't ask you who he was
Mark
playing. I
Spears was the
you
best.
can't hairs with me. I didn't ask you who he was playing against.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I didn't say who he was
It was
playing
going to the
against.
hole.
Y'all bring but don't nobody roll with you. Hey, who the playing against?
No, he
I
wasn't
asked you
mid-range
this.
dominant.
No.
He wasn't mid-range dominant when he first.
what all these-
No, so he,
It was
Kobe
all
didn't.
dunks
Kobe
and
don't know that.
In threes.
He might hit a mid-range or two.
He didn't.
So he
And then
averaged
shoot
37, 38
They
points a
took the
game.
three-point line
doing
away.
all layups.
What year did Kobe look like MJ?
when he changed his number.
45.
When he got old.
Okay, so
Kobe
20
Bryant's first 10 years in the league, he was Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
He was afro.
Okay.
He was leg sleeve.
So he didn't look like MJ.
No.
Cool. All right,
He was Kobe Bryant.
number 24 looked like which Michael Jordan?
Yes.
The older Michael Jordan.
Okay.
The 1998 Michael
So,
Jordan.
okay,
The
so-
Phil Jackson have a conversation with Kobe Bryant like, Kobe, let's make it a little bit easier. Let's watch this Michael Jordan film
So he
and
had
show you how to slow the game down, go one dribble, pull up.
Okay.
Two dribble, pull up.
So-
this is the end of number 8, though. The 81 game, he started to reach that
No.
level
Okay,
of
no, no.
understanding.
20 years
Oh,
old,
let me
man.
go here.
So
Let me
you're
go here.
so basically you're saying 1 year Kobe did something better than Jordan when Jordan was 34, 35 years old, and you're saying this is a carbon copy
was 20.
of a man
was
who's
20.
34 to 35, but you do not want to talk about the came in the league averaging 37, 35, 31 because no one looks like that guy.
Ever.
So when they say Anthony Edwards looked like Michael Jordan, they're not talking about 6 rings Michael Jordan. They're talking about coming down, jumping, and dunking on everybody. Nobody compares Kobe to that. Y'all pretend that this exists.
No.
You know why it matters?
It don't matter
Because
who
people
you
not
playing
gonna make
against,
Mike
man.
go to his counter.
It don't matter who
Thank you.
If you can't
How you
go,
know that?
because
That
I know
nigga
this. Let me
Mike
tell you why.
did
Let me
this.
tell you
Jump
why.
in.
Kobe Bryant made a move. Let me tell you this. Kobe
Let him finish.
created a move.
Let him finish. Let him
Kobe
finish.
created a move, right? You know who he created the move against? It was the reverse pivot. I think it was in a preseason game. If I'm mistaken. It was
York.
pump fake, reverse pivot, boom.
It was on him.
No, it was against a greater defender.
Okay. Okay, no, let him finish.
Same thing.
It was against.
Let him eat.
It was against him.
No.
No, when he was in Denver.
Oh, yeah.
It was the first time we ever seen the move. Before the New York against him. Created the move because the defense, he made him do a counter. He had to go to counters.
I was a
Counters,
fool, man.
counters. Mike didn't have to go to counters. He went straight to the 2 dribble,
And
bang,
jump up
bang.
Larry-
Now imagine being good enough to
Not
make
Larry
you go to
Bird.
3 counters. You're in the corner, you got 2, you go, here. Oh, I'm a fade anyway.
They like, damn,
For
you see
3.
that shot he made over
For
Elo?
3.
I got it.
For 3.
Nice.
You seen that shot he made over Elo?
Oh, it's
The
2
famous
seconds
shot?
on the clock. I got D Wade and another. Let me bank that game on Christmas.
So you heard what the panel had to say. First of all, guys, I'm gonna enjoy it. There are times where talking about sports is kind of annoying when I see some of the nonsense that takes place in sports media. But then there's certain days where I'm like, man, this is a lot of fun to talk about sports and basketball. And today is going to be one of those days. So you heard what they were saying, right? Essentially, what Rashard McCants and these guys were saying was that Kobe took the foundation that Michael Jordan left and took it to another level. He essentially added another floor on the building. He took MJ's skills and elevated it. Let's address that point first. I want to go through this systematically. Y'all know Kobe Bryant is my favorite player of all time. I think he's the third greatest player ever behind Michael Jordan himself and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I hold Kobe in a very high regard, and I saw him play basketball pretty much for the entire duration of his career. And when I was watching Kobe play basketball, it became apparent to me as I'm watching him, I'm like, there's nobody playing basketball better than this dude. Like, it's just nobody. There's nobody. Like, I'm watching and I'm like, how can somebody be this good at basketball? It was incredible. And you guys know that Kobe patented his game after MJ. He did. The footwork, the jump shot, the fadeaway, the mannerisms, the defense, the attitude, the tenacity. He got a lot of that from Jordan, but Kobe was a dog inherently within himself, right? You need to be nasty to be able to emulate a Jordan. You can't be a nice guy trying to emulate. It's just not going to work. So as I was watching Kobe play, and I was fully aware of how Jordan played, his playing style, you could see that Kobe did some things a little bit better than Jordan. He was a better ball handler, right? He had better dribble moves. He was a better ball handler, right? If you just watch the two of them. He shot more from distance, meaning beyond the three-point line. Jordan didn't really emphasize the three-point shot, and the reason is simple, and he explained it. The reason Jordan didn't enjoy shooting so much from the three was because he felt like it took away from his aggressive mindset. This is what he said. These are his words. You can search for it on YouTube. There's a philosophy behind him doing that. But in the mid-range and in the paint area, he was a magician. And he perfected some of Jordan's moves, and he added in a lot of counters, right, to what Rashard McCants was saying. In the case of Gil and Kenyon, they're saying that, look, Jordan perfected what he did, and the moves that he did were unstoppable as they were, so there was no real need for him to integrate one counter, two counter, three counters within his game, because after the first or second move, he would have already pretty much accomplished what he set out to do, which was score the basket or make a play, whatever the case was, right? And this is true, which brings me now to my assessment of these two guys. You notice I'm not talking stats here. We're talking basketball. We're not talking stats. Those guys were talking basketball. They were not talking stats. I am basing my opinions solely on my observations of Kobe Bryant as a basketball player and Michael Jordan as a basketball player watching these guys play. I'm not talking about their accomplishments. I'm not talking about their stats. We're talking about playing basketball, right? And it's a totally different thing than counting stats and all of that stuff. Stats can tell you whatever story you want them to tell you. That's why you had that idiot Tim Bontemps going on TV talking about Kobe Bryant was the most clutch player in the NBA, and he had Rudy Gay as a more clutch player than Kobe Bryant using stats. That's what stats does for you, right? That's what stats do for you. I want to focus on basketball here because I believe this is becoming a lost art, where there are a lot of people making basketball arguments and their entire conversation is just based on stats. And to me, it shows that you don't have a deep understanding of the game beyond what you can read on Wikipedia. I truly believe those things are important, but they don't tell the entire picture. Here's why I understand what Rashard McCants and Nick Young were saying, but why I disagree with them in terms of Kobe Bryant being a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. And I'm going to explain why I think MJ is a better basketball player than than Kobe Bryant, right? And I'm going to explain that to you. First of all, I have spent a good amount of time watching footage of Michael Jordan playing basketball. I have. And in the footage that I have observed of MJ playing basketball, there is no basketball player I have ever seen, including your favorite player, whoever's watching the show. It could be LeBron, it could be Kobe, it could be whomever you feel is the GOAT. Magic Johnson, whoever. There is no basketball player that moved the way Michael Jordan did. It was freaky. Jordan was more athletic than Kobe. And because of that, he could do things that other human beings simply could not do. Jordan had the ability to hang in the air longer than pretty much everyone. Kobe had hang time. He had hang time. I'd see Jordan jump before defenders, and the defenders will come down before he hit the ground. Jordan's creativity around the basket was just as good as Kobe Bryant. Jordan, in my personal view, is the best finisher above and under the rim in the history of basketball. Nobody finishes better under the rim and above the rim than Michael Jordan. That includes Kobe, that includes LeBron, that includes Kyrie Irving. It's not even up for discussion. It is not up for discussion. Kyrie and Kobe were on a similar wavelength in terms of this. Kyrie and Kobe would elude contact, more so Kyrie, but Kobe would as well. If you look at Kobe's finishes under the rim, he's eluding contact. He's going through around defenders. He doesn't really spend that much time going through defenders. Does Kobe finish through contact? Yes, he does. MJ could finish under the rim, eluding defenders. He could finish under the rim with contact, and he could finish above the rim with contact. Because he had that ability to do those three things, which those other guys cannot do. Kyrie cannot finish above the rim. So if you cannot finish above the rim, you finish primarily under the rim, you cannot be deemed the best finisher in history. Jordan was just as ambidextrous with the ball with his right hand and with his left hand. And because he could palm the ball, it gave him a significant advantage over the two players I aforementioned. So Jordan, to me, was a better finisher at the rim. Number two, Jordan was he was a more efficient shot taker from the mid-range. But why was Jordan more efficient than Kobe? Was it his ability to shoot better than Kobe? No, because Kobe was an elite shooter from the mid-range. An elite shooter. He shoots way up. He shoots above 40% from the mid-range for his career. All right, above 40%. What makes Jordan better is his physical attributes and his accuracy, and the fact that he didn't waste movement and dribbles. Kobe at times would get to a shot, one dribble, pull up, going right, going left. He can do that, but there are times where Kobe would actually pound the ball, take more difficult shots. Jordan rarely would waste any energy. He would rarely. I'm talking about what I have observed. And to me, he was the more efficient scorer. I'm not talking about accuracy. I'm talking about the efficiency in terms of the energy he uses to score. He actually exerts less energy. He could even jump higher. Go look at Jordan's jumper and his release point. It's freaky. It's freaky. He had a faster first step than Kobe Bryant as well. He did. I believe Jordan was slightly stronger. The reason I'm saying I believe Jordan was stronger was because of his ability to finish above the rim with contact. They weighed virtually the same amount. Kobe weighed around 220, 215. Jordan weighed about 220, 215. But just because you and another guy weigh the same weight doesn't mean that you guys have the same strength. One guy can be stronger than the other guy. We all know this, right? You can be 180 pounds. You go to the gym. There's another guy, 180 pounds. He has 220 plates 40 plates or whatever on one side, 45-pound plates, you have a 45-pound attempt. Like, it's different. It doesn't mean because you weigh the same, your strength is going to be equal. But in the case of Jordan, I believe he was the better athlete, the better finisher. He was the more efficient scorer. And I think he was the better defender. I think he was the better defender. Now, am I saying Jordan did these things by a wider margin? I mean, like by a huge margin? No. But he did it in a margin that was considerable enough to say, this guy's better. So to me, I understand the points that Rashard McCann and these guys were making, but what they were pointing to is not enough for me to say, as a Kobe guy, this guy's better than Jordan. However, I will say this. Jordan himself admitted that if he were to play any player in the history of basketball, the only player he believes that could actually beat him was Kobe. So that says a lot about Kobe Bryant. But in terms of him being a better basketball player than Michael Jordan, I would have to disagree. I still give the nod to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I've watched him play. I've watched Kobe play, and I was awestruck watching Jordan. I was awestruck watching Kobe, especially with his shots. I mean, it's crazy, his shots and his post-up game. It is crazy, but so is Jordan. But MJ just something else. He's something else. And I don't need stats to tell me that. I can understand that by simply observing them play basketball. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comments. If you believe Jordan is better, let me know why you think so. If you believe Kobe could be better, let me know why you think so in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.